Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. In this episode, we speak to Paul Harvey. Hello, Paul. How are you?
Hey, good yourself, Danny.
Excellent. Okay, before we get started, guys, remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment under the video, and me and Paul will come back to you. So first things first, in this session, what we're going to be covering is free plus shipping, who's it for, and how you can use it. So firstly, Paul, quick background. Give us a little bit of background on yourself.
So primarily, I am an Amazon seller, and just like every other Amazon seller, I'll try to look for ways to make money off of Amazon. And one of the strategies I've used with reasonable success is the free plus shipping aspect. Yeah. Basically, just create funnels from that.
Excellent. So can you give me a slight breakdown before we get into the graphic detail? What is free plus shipping?
So pretty much is that it's drop shipping. You're buying a product from China for, let's say, $1 and selling it through Facebook ads, and it's going to be free plus shipping. And the shipping is inflated cost to actually cover the unit cost.
Okay. And then would you use something like this as part of your Amazon product strategy?
I would use it as an addition, a complement, but not the main strategy.
Okay, so all right, then. So let's go into, give us an idea of what's involved here. So we've got an idea of what free plus shipping is now, but so where would you get your products from, as an example?
So the easiest thing is to start off on AliExpress.
Right.
Go into AliExpress, and I'm going to use jewelry as an example because that's what I've done in the past. So if we use jewelry, let's say you have some silver oil diffuser. You'd find that on AliExpress for, let's say, $2. And that $2 includes free shipping to the US and the UK. Yeah. The US can be about 10 to 20 days delivery, UK about 40 days. Yeah. So you find that product on AliExpress. You either then order it for yourself or just find online stock images or videos. Take those images and then you can create a Facebook ad. The Facebook ad will then take them from their news feed on Facebook to a funnel. And the funnel says, get this free product here. That's free plus you just pay shipping.
Right. Okay, so let's get more graphic. So you're giving us a bird's eye view of it. We're using software programs for funnels and stuff. Yeah. So let's start at the very beginning. Walk me through the steps, like from the product research right through to post-optimization customer delivery. So talk to me about the product research first. How does that work?
So first of all is that we have to be realistic here. Being an Amazon seller will hold us back here because we do all our product research based on Amazon bestsellers, but we'll be running these offers on Facebook, not Amazon. So that's huge. Yeah. So we need to then do our research on Facebook. And there are sites like, I'll give you the notes afterwards, but there are sites like FadFeed. And FadFeed is a Chrome extension that basically only shows all the sponsored ads in your news feed. So what I do is I have another Facebook profile where I like any type of niche I want to, and then I turn on that FadFeed extension, and I only see what people are advertising, because a lot of the time advertisers, including myself, use dark posts. So even if you go to that advertiser's page, you can't see what they're actually advertising.
Right.
So I go ahead and do that. Create the ad, and then once the ad runs, we then send them to the funnel. And for the funnel, all you really need is a basic funnel using any type of software, but there must be a payment gateway on that.
Okay.
And the way it would work is that, let's say your product costs $2, including shipping from AliExpress. Yeah. Then what I would do is I would sell it for $3. Free plus shipping. Shipping will be $3. The reason being is that $2 for the actual cost of the product and $1 extra for my Facebook advertising costs. Yeah. So I advertise for $3, and if I make a sale, it's break even. And that's perfect. But then in the actual funnel itself, there are upsells in quantity and different variations. Yeah. So although I'm advertising for $3, at the end of the day, they're actually going to leave the funnel once they make payment, and they're paid upwards of $12. Yeah. So then the profit margin will increase significantly from break even to about 200% profit. I mean, you'll spend about maybe $1 on the ad and about $4 or $5 on the products and upsells, but then they will spend about $12 to $15 on once they leave.
Right. Okay, so can we just, I want to go on a bit more of a granular level. So I've got the idea now. So we're talking about, we're doing the product research. We're looking at products that are basically quite cheap in price to make this work. I'm imagining that these products won't work on Amazon because of the price. They're below $10 or £10 or whatever. But there's just, I want to get into like, we kind of went over the product research, but let's graphically break this down. So walk me through the steps. Let's just say, give me an example of not a product you're using, because I know there's secrecy here, but give us a typical product that maybe have blown up that someone else has used that everyone knows about as a start point.
So, for example, one of the best examples right now for free plus shipping are the fidget spinners.
Right. Okay.
That works. I know some guys, what they did is that because they're experienced in this model, they actually gave their funnels to their 12-year-old kids, and their kids actually shot videos of them playing with the stuff. So we're using it as an example. And what I would do is for the product research, do your research on Facebook. Just type in the search bar free plus shipping.
Right.
And then you'll get a whole list of products. A whole list of adverts that appear. So it's up to you to be a bit of a social media slut and actually like as many pages as possible, so that way you're a relative to that product.
So is this why you mentioned about setting up a secondary profile?
Yes.
Because you don't want it to basically ruin your own Facebook feed, is what you're saying?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, if you saw my one profile, I like dog stuff, I like pet stuff, even some weird toys. It's just crazy, and you want to keep them separate, and it makes life easier. Because I have about 5-6 Facebook profiles. Each profile is focused on a niche. So one profile would be just on jewelry. So they like every single jewelry product.
Yeah.
Another profile is kids' toys. Another profile is dog products. So basically, I log into those profiles and then I just see what's trending.
Yeah.
And I take that, I look at their comments, I look at their stuff, and then most of them actually will go to a Shopify store and not actually a funnel. So this is actually way better, because if they go to a Shopify store, you can change the URL of the Shopify store to actually look at their best sellers. So once you have the best sellers, you know what they are really selling and what their best, most profitable products are. And then I take that research and go find them on AliExpress.
Okay, so most people would be aware from testing products from AliExpress as Amazon sellers. So talk me through some of the processes that you do, like the do's and don'ts once you're on AliExpress. I know it's quite straightforward, type in the search bar, but is there anything that you really focus around, like the type of companies and what you're watching out for?
So we have to be important here, because as this goes completely against the grain of Amazon, in the sense that there's no 2-day, 1-day shipping time. That's at best 10 days, at worst 40 days. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is that we have to make sure that we trust the supplier, because we don't actually see the product. We never actually see it. As a lot of stuff I've sold, I've never seen, but my customers have. Yeah. So you need a trust factor with the AliExpress supplier. Basically, are they one of those gold suppliers? And I look at their reviews and feedback from other customers and see, have they posted photos of what they received, and I base it on that. And then once I've made about maybe 20 to 30 orders on AliExpress, I then talk to the store owner and say, okay, can we make the sales off of AliExpress? That way, taking AliExpress out the picture and improving their profit margin and ours by doing that.
Right. Okay. So now we've got our product. We've isolated who they are, how it's going to, in terms of the effect of how it's going to work, a guesstimation of timeline. You've spoken to the supplier and stuff like that. Talk me through Facebook ads. I know we've covered it on the show before, but what do you do? Let's just say you've picked this spatula or whatever, or a fidget spinner. Yep. Talk me through the process of setting these ads up.
So basically is that when you first start off with these free plus shipping models, you will fail so badly. The reason being is that you need to find your niche. So what I do is that I have an ad account for every single niche I'm selling in for free plus shipping.
Yeah.
The reason being is that I want to groom that pixel. But before we can groom that pixel, we first have to run the ads.
Yeah.
So what I do is the first step is that I look at all the people that liked these brands of similar products on Facebook. I market back to them. I look at their interests, everything. I have about 10 factors of interests I split test. There's no right or wrong way there.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can tell you to make it easier. It's just testing and testing and testing the audiences.
Yeah.
So I test those audiences and I take it from there and say, great, what is the next step after that? And once those audiences once I have those audiences down, I'll create the ad. Now the ad, I'm calling out to them, and the ad is quite important because it must be breaking their concentration, because people go to Facebook to gossip,
yes,
to look at their friends and stuff. So you can create an ad that's so appealing, it takes them off of Facebook. So and that's the hard part.
This is going to be key here. So on Amazon, we focus the product itself on a white background image. This is a different approach here. So what's the kind of things that are in the ad? Do you actually use the product in the ad? Bearing in mind you've never seen a sample of it, for instance.
So what I do a lot of times, I can't wait sometimes 10 to 40 days to receive a product to make a video and test it out. I'm too impulsive. So what I would do then is that go into YouTube, look for similar videos, and then download them, hack it to shreds, and create a nice little video slideshow.
Yeah.
Now, here's the catch, and what people don't understand. They think that the ad is actually the be-all, end-all of the product. It's actually not, because you can have a really bad advert. You can have a really bad ad copy, everything. It's the product people want.
Yeah.
That supersedes absolutely everything. And you can have, I've tested this out though, is that I've had the same ad for 2 different products, and the product that people wanted more performed way better, even though it was both just really crappy ads.
Yeah.
So it's down to the product. That's absolutely key. So it's more of a sense of testing so many products and finding a winner. Once you find a winner, then just blow it up there and then improve the funnel, then improve the Facebook ad.
Right. Okay. So basically your baseline test is not on optimizing the product campaign. It's optimizing for the right product.
Correct.
So we're not talking about being congruent and on message. Well, we are, but we're not focusing on that. What we're focusing on, fidget spinners stand out. Yeah, exactly. It's trendy. So that's what's caught their attention. And if you can sell a few of those, then you'll know you're in the right ballpark to sell more of those if you were to optimize. Yeah?
Spot on. So then what we would do is that the first stage is that I would run a Facebook ad with either as the objective being engagement or link clicks. Either or, there's no right or wrong there. If you do engagement, just include the link in the actual copy so they can click on that. Yeah. And then if you make sales from that, then you know you're onto a winner. Then I increase the ad spend there, and then I'll continue doing that until I have about at least 100 custom 100 pixel fires, and then I turn it into a conversion objective.
Can I just stop you there? Can you just, for some members of the audience that may not know, but explain the difference between the conversion and a pixel firing?
So basically is that on all my funnels and websites, I include the Facebook pixel. The Facebook pixel is basically just a cookie. Yeah. So if someone lands on that page, Facebook will tell me they landed on that page. Mm-hmm. So let's say in my funnel, I have the first page is where they opt in. Second page is when they make sales. Yeah. And the third page is the thank you page. Yeah. So everyone that gets that thank you page has already purchased. Yeah. So I will now, once I've got about, let's say, 100 people that have made a purchase, yeah, and that means that thank you page, I have 100 people that have got that thank you page. And then I tell Facebook, now I want to target all those people that went to the thank you page, a lookalike audience. Yeah. So because that pixel is now groomed, Facebook now understands, okay, you want to get people that are most alike the ones that paid for your product, and that shoots down your ad costs significantly. So in the very beginning, you will pay quite a bit because you're testing, and once you get that out of the way, it becomes much, much cheaper and easier. Okay, so let's just quickly go back to the ad. We now know that we're focusing on grooming the pixel here. Yeah. I just wanted to get the differentiation for people to explain, like when you're running events on Google Analytics on the back end, you're not counting just the conversion, you're counting those steps through them series of events. Yes. What we're talking about is actual conversion of sales within the pixel fires. Yes. So
There's obviously money going to be spent there. So obviously it's very important to get your products researched, spend a lot of time getting that right so you have less failing products. Because let's face it, you are going to have failing products that you're going to deal with.
Absolutely.
And we're spending our money here on the advertising spend, not on the product itself. In theory, you haven't got 5,000 units or 2,000 units come from China, right? Okay, so that's cool. So we discussed the image. So give me an example of a headline of a fidget spinner. What would you put in that headline, Edge, to get their attention? So
what I would do is, first of all, is that running these ads, I would say to everyone, do a slideshow ad or a video ad. That is far, far cheaper. If you just have a normal carousel ad, so a carousel ad is just images that one by one people can scroll through, that does work. But the thing is, though, for increased organic traffic, I would say video stuff.
Okay.
So you have that video ad, and what I did is that because I sold some jewelry, I actually got my wife to talk you through it, everything, because I'm marketing to women. So you want to see a woman on the video talking about it, saying how it changed their life and how much they love that product.
Yeah.
So with that, what I would say is that I start off the headline saying something like, we have 100 of these products free, of these jewelry items free to celebrate our birthday, or something like that. Something to make it sound
limit legit. Offer, scarcity, etc. Yeah.
And with that, there's no right or wrong there. It's basically just tweaking the copy until you get it right. So I use a normal base copy, a template, where I say, buy this now, 100 left. And then in the comments, when people start commenting, I start commenting as well, saying, guys, only 60 left, 50 left. So I comment as well so people can see the timestamps as well. That's working.
Yeah.
And I would do that. And then when they click on that ad, then they go to the funnel, the landing page. The landing page emulates what I was saying. So there'll be a countdown timer, or like a little a widget saying only 50 left, or whichever. And that way it confirms what we say in the ad.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing, are you from the same mind from an ad scent, meaning the congruency of your ad when you get to the landing page, same colors, same headline, image or video or something when you get there.
Yeah, so exactly that same thing.
Are you creating long form landing pages? Are they short form? Walk me through from the title, the video or the image and down. Talk me through it.
So basically what I do is that the funnel depends on the market. So because I was doing jewelry, it was a very feminine type of theme. They had nice colors, lots of pinks and purples that matched the jewelry. And because it was jewelry, I had a very white background, because if you look at, I emulated all the big jewelry brands. They have a big white background, very clean and professional. And I did exactly that. Yeah. So I had that. So the first banner on the ad actually just says, get this now free. And there will be a little caveat there saying, just pay shipping. Now, here's the catch, is that if I'm selling to the US market, they understand shipping needs to be paid for. Yeah. The UK market doesn't get that. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, what I would do is I create two funnels of the same product, one going to US, one going to the UK. And the UK one, I would put harder emphasis on just pay shipping. Whereas the US one, I wouldn't, because they used to do it. It's common for them. So that's what I would do for the UK one. And the way I set up the funnel is that I'm pretty much copying Amazon. So on the left side of the screen is the image. Mm-hmm. Just like the Amazon listing.
Product page,
yeah, product page, and then to the right of that, I have the title, the product saying free, just pay shipping, and a pain point saying get this now. This jewelry will match any item you get, any clothing you have, whichever, and that works really, really well. So headline, pain point, price, which is free plus shipping, and then the button to say yes, they want it, and that then opens up an opt-in box where they leave their email address.
Okay.
Now, for these funnels, what we need to bear in mind, though, is that a successful funnel will convert at 20% opt-ins. Mm-hmm. And of those 20% opt-ins, I'm looking over here because I always keep the stats right over here. So we went a 30% opt-in for the page.
Yeah.
Once we have a 30% opt-in on the page, then actually 8 to 15% of those people that opted in will buy.
Right.
So it's very, very small numbers as opposed to Amazon where your conversion rate is anywhere upwards of 10%.
Yeah.
Now, actually, it's 20% opt-in rate. And then of those 20%, 8 to 15% will be actual sales.
Okay. So just so that we're not missing any steps here, we're talking about opt-in for email address. So there's a second part of the step from the landing page.
Yes.
So someone puts their email details in. What happens next to the customer?
So, and thanks, I skipped over that part. So what happens is that they go from Facebook to the first step of the funnel.
Yeah.
That funnel then says all the instructions, the headline, the call to action, the pain points, and then if they want it, they click saying yes, and then a box will open up saying put in your email address. They put in their email address, and once they submit it, they go to the next page.
Yeah.
And the next page then says is actually the order payment page.
Right.
Now, this is what separates everything. So in my case, this jewelry item was $3.
Mm-hmm.
But then I say, would you like to buy 2 for $5? 3 for $6, and so on. I've changed up like that.
Yeah.
And then, so basically, if they order anything more than 1 unit, I've made profit.
Yes.
Only 1 unit, it's break even. And I'd say about 70% of the sales are buying higher quantities because and their mindset, there's not much difference between $3 and $5.
Yeah.
And they're getting extra items, so that's a big win for us.
So a quick question there, because of that jump, obviously someone's got to sit down with their spreadsheet and work out those calculations.
Yes.
Are we saying, because I haven't used AliExpress for a while, are we saying is that any shipping or bundling costs, it ends up being reduced, and because in some places on AliExpress they will reward you for buying more units, don't they?
Correct.
Yeah,
exactly that. And when you pick your supplier, you also make sure they ship for free.
Yes.
That's something, and if you want to, you can include maybe a tracking code or stuff like that, but that's a higher cost. It's either or. Only things like that I would look into if I know I have a winning product.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's probably a good time now to quickly talk about the type of software that you're using, because there's the main player out there, which can work out quite expensive if you're on a low budget. Do you want to just name who they are?
So the 3 main ones. The main one used is Shopify.
Yeah.
We see that a lot. And I don't want to use Shopify because it kind of limits us. It really does. And also is that if your competitors find your product, and bear in mind, this is more competitive than Amazon.
Yeah.
And we have to be more secretive about our products than we do on Amazon because there's a very low barrier to entry. So any competitor can come in there and kill your entire ad. And one little complaint from a person about your Facebook ad, and Facebook could shut down your account, similarly to Amazon. So same ball game, just same issues. So we're going to take that now, and Shopify is the easiest one. But the reason I'm not a fan of Shopify because you have to add so many apps and plugins to make it effective. It's too much work.
Yeah.
The next option is ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
Now, ClickFunnels is super cool, and I'm a big fan of it. The only issue is that
that could be expensive for people on a smaller budget. You know, it's like for us to spend $300 because we're Amazon sellers, we've got products, but sometimes if you're starting out in this world, it can be quite expensive if you're needing the full package, basically.
And a lot of the time, it will take you maybe about 2-3 months to really, really learn the software.
Yeah.
And at that stage, you've spent $900 over the past 3 months to just learn.
Yeah.
So I'm a big ClickFunnels fan, but that kind of deterred me because I'm pretty cheap, and my wife will tell you that. So
what are you using at the moment?
So right now, about 2 weeks back, a new program was released called Builderall.
Yeah.
Builderall is exactly the same as ClickFunnels.
Yeah.
But it's $30 a month.
Yeah.
They just launched, so they're doing some mad promos right now. And the way I look at it is that do you want to pay $300 a month for a suit like ClickFunnels, or would you pay $29 a month for Builderall, which does everything that ClickFunnels does and more?
Yeah.
And they're improving on a daily basis. And just a little sidetrack here. I've been talking to the owner of Builderall, and they're super nice guys. They're a Brazilian team, everything. And I said to him, I want one-time use coupon codes to be used in a funnel program.
Yeah.
And they will be actually, they'll be doing this in the next maybe a week or so. So all you do now is upload one-time use coupon codes into the funnel, and every time someone opts in, they'll get one coupon code, which would be a big time save and concern saving for all Amazon.
So basically, you don't have to, even if guys watching this are not into this kind of, it's a bit like merch by Amazon. It's like your side piece, isn't it? It's like you add on to your Amazon business. If you want to do this kind of strategy where you're bringing in products from AliExpress, if you've got a software that's affordable, it can actually work for when you're doing all your promo codes and your promo campaigns for launching the products as well. So you can actually use the same program. Because I find that on Amazon is that you can use so many different programs, and people always crying out to roll things under one roof. You can't always get away with that because it ends up being an iPhone and a toaster. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's no congruency there. But so these guys, this is a new company. I imagine there's going to be a few bugs in the beginning. They're very helpful because they're new and they want to get off the ground and stuff like that. But people can look that up. And
I've created some really cool funnels that, in my opinion, actually are more professional and better suited than the ClickFunnels funnels.
Are you up to giving the audience any of these funnels?
Yeah, absolutely. If you just reach out to me, I'll actually send you the funnels I've created in Builderall, because I can transfer the funnels to your account. Yeah. And then all you do is drag and drop, change the text, and you have now an optimized funnel you can use on the get-go.
Cool. Right. So let's get back into the program, because obviously people need the landing pages, ease of use, stuff like that. So big point for me, like with anything, obviously we invest and we have to take risks. Profit optimization. Let's talk through this, because we've gone through finding the product. We haven't included ad spend on Facebook ads. You told us the opt-in rate. Then you told us the conversion rate. Then there's the cross-sell, upselling, all these different factors, the software. These are all costs for the business. So let's talk about profit optimization.
Okay. So then the first thing is that this is an evolving strategy. You're gonna burn money in the beginning, and the biggest expense will be Facebook ads. But think of it this way. If you were a typical Amazon seller, you would basically spend maybe $2,000-$3,000 on a first order, and that may be a test. So we have to apply that same mindset here to the free plus shipping. So what I would do is that, let's say I pick a niche. I'm going to go back to jewelry. Beginning of this year, I tested about 40 products in jewelry. So I created 40 different funnels, and that sounds tough, but actually once you have a funnel created, you can just drag and drop and change the text, and you can get a new funnel out every 10 minutes. It really is that simple. So once you do that, I have about 40 products. Of those 40, I found about 2-3 winners. And those 2-3 winners are similar jewelry products, and then I offer them as cross-outs to one another, as quantity items, all that kind of stuff. And with that, to test those 40 products, I probably spent, I would say, about £300 to £500 that month just testing.
Yeah.
But the following month, I had my winning products, and all I did then is that I just increased my ad spend, and my sales did increase. The thing is, though, is that you have to monitor ad spend every day, because the biggest thing you can't monitor is your Facebook ads. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, there are some days when Facebook just doesn't work for you, or people complain about your ad, or this and that, and then that can be a big cost factor. So that's the only one. But the given prices are the shipping costs from AliExpress and the software costs. Those are the main two things. And also, if you want to be able to anal about it, if you use Stripe, they charge, I think it's 1.2% per transaction.
Yeah.
So that's also another thing. I'm not too particular about that, but yeah.
Cool. Right. So let's wrap there, and then we'll carry on part 2. But let's go over a quick top line of what we've just discussed today to get people underway. So we discussed product research. Do you want to elaborate?
Product research. My best advice is get a beer or a big glass of wine and play on Facebook.
Yeah. Cool. And then move on to AliExpress. Make sure we're going for light items, cheap items, so that they're one, because it's easier on your budget. 2, they're generally lighter to post and easier to manage as well. We're looking at a target price about $2, including shipping. Did you say?
I would say that varies. I mean, I would say below $4, including shipping.
Right, below $4, including shipping. Then we're going to create our Facebook ads. We need to groom the pixel. We need to set up some sort of landing page. Obviously, we'll steer clear, like 2 reasons we stay away from this Shopify one, because what's involved to set up for purely a landing page in effect, rather than a full website, and all the plugins. And if you're not technical, you may have to pay a developer to get involved there. And I nearly forgot, what was the second point? So the second point would be then we'll look at, there's obviously some market leaders out there in terms of the landing pages. You've got, what was the name of the
Boulderall.
So you've got Boulderall, which people can get in contact with you, and you can share the funnels, and obviously ClickFunnels, which everyone knows about. And then really it's about getting the congruency with the Facebook ad. And you said about accessing some videos on YouTube and cutting your own ones up. Is that
pretty much, or just do a simple slideshow video.
Slideshow,
We don't want to spend too much time on that, because it's the product that sells, not the ad. If the product is amazing, then people will love it.
So the moral of the story, what we're saying is we're not optimizing our product campaign, we're optimizing for the product itself. So the best thing to do is, instead of setting, say, one up and then waiting, you set up 5 or 6 of those.
Correct.
And then they'll start to come in and deliver data over a period of time.
Correct.
Yeah? So assign yourself a budget. Brilliant. All right, so let's wrap it there. How can people reach you?
So I would say is that if they reach me, the best way would be my website, Epsilon e-commerce. I'll give you the link back, it's a bit of a pain. Alternatively, if you just search in Facebook for my group, it's the Boulderall for Amazon sellers. And that walks you through everything.
Cool. Brilliant. That sounds good. Guys, thanks for joining us. Again, Paul, thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next time. Remember, guys, to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, and I'll come back to you. And also, Paul, if he doesn't mind, I'll get him to answer some of the questions on YouTube. Again, thank you, and we'll see you again next week.